with shopping in the city.
Same. I think I may have overdone it with the black and purple for, well, my entire life.
Speaks well of that.
Your look serves you well, though.
Excellent recognition.
I'm 10 years behind. Don't want the youth to think I'm not, you know, up with the times.
Don't be smart with me.
What about you? Stories, get them right here.
I'm sure you'll manage.
Perhaps
It's not
it's worth what they have in the batteries. If anything.
I shouldn't have to fight it.
Hey, good looking.
Quite ready for you.
Can't afford to stay idle.
One with the weave.
Still alive, so that's progress. Is that blood? No, never mind. There's a trap.
Careful not to trigger that thing.
Avoid that trap.
Hot foot, place is trapped. Watch how you go. There's a trap.
This place is trapped.
Unlock hereby the path to the Karsus vault.
Annals of Karsus. The preamble to a civilization's downfall, committed to parchment by the very hand that wrought its destruction. If the crown atop the Elder Brain was truly forged by Karsus himself, this book will confirm it. All we have to do is turn the page. Devil Raphael was telling the truth. There's no doubt. The crown of Karsus is what's controlling the Elder Brain. And this is no mere journal. It contains Karsus's original plans for the crown's construction. His designs for godhood. Not exactly. It was what he did with it that sealed his fate, and, for a time, that of magic itself. The crown was merely the means. The book states that the crown and netherstones were originally one construct, seemingly sundered at the moment of Karsus's downfall. If we can collect the crown's setting and the 3 netherstones, and with the correct invocation of certain spells and gestures detailed in these notes, I think I could reforge it. To every end you can imagine, and 1,000 more beyond. Just think of it. The power of the gods in mortal hands at last would be free of doctrine and dogma, confined only by the limits of our imaginations. I promise you, the gods will never grant us such a blessing, no matter how much we worship and adore them. I don't know. Ao does not look kindly on gods meddling in mortal affairs. She may have no choice but to stand by and let events unfold. Even with the fate of the world at stake, she had little more to offer me than the means of blowing myself up at a more convenient time. She's done nothing to help us. Mistra wanted the brain obliterated because of this crown. She fears a world in which such power is beyond her control, ready to be claimed by Karsus's successor. Neither of us can know what truly may be if we don't at least try. Potential is nothing in itself. Just a fleeting dream unless we drag it into the waking world. Please, at least think on it. Powerful as he was, Karsus lacked some advantages I can lay claim to. I know Mistra intimately, and I carry a fragment of the weave itself within my body. Karsus achieved many things, but he never managed that. A long road lies ahead before the crown comes into our possession. All I ask for now is that you do not dismiss this possibility out of hand. Please, at least think on it. This is no passing whim. Trust me. If I can obtain that crown, it will affect us all. It's not a decision I'll take lightly. It's our future that I'm thinking of. Can't rely on anyone else to do it for us. For now, we've learned all we can. Whatever comes of this, we cannot allow the crown to be reforged in Raphael's image. A devil wielding the might of Karsus. It would be the end of everything. The air is ripe with magic.
No one back home will ever believe this. No one stopped me yet.
Interference with flaming fish property will be dealt with quickly and harshly.
Come to have a go. Give it your best shot.
An air of decay hangs over the stooped beggar's form. The smell of rot, the smell of death.
Gold first. Then you can hit me. Plenty. Lots of angry people in this city. No one else to take it out on. Go on. You seem like you've something pent up. So, you having a go or not? Then move. Let someone else have a go.
Something over there.
What a charmer.
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have. Come on, open up.
What's this? A heretic in our midst? Your death, in the Dreadlord's name.
Count on me.
To move.
Swords meet sorcery. Step by step.
Blood comes easy these days.
A tale for the ages.
Want another?
Got to focus.
Death is but a word away.
Better than nothing.
swim.
Must have been some other oozing, stinking lump floating downstream.
I keep forgetting. What are we supposed to be doing?
Wizard told us for troublemakers.
By the glory of Mother Gith, tell me you've taken the Orphic Hammer. Ah, you've finally come. Have you retrieved the Orphic Hammer? Will our prince's chains finally be broken? Then I will wait here until you have. The chains that bind Orpheus also bind the whole of the Githyanki people. The remaining honor guard serve as my eyes and ears. Vlaakith's forces hunt you and the prism. My allies have slayed more than you know, so that you might travel freely. As for those that break through, you've proven more than capable of bleeding them yourself.
Must have been some other oozing, stinking lump floating downstream. Wizard told us to watch for trouble.
I took my friend's life, but only after your god took her soul.
Sarin, Bereki, and I, we were the three finest thieves in Baldur's Gate. We broke into the offices of Gortash, discovered he was with the Absolute too. Your fellow cultists hunted us, so we hid down here. We were safe, and so was our loot. Until the darkness soured Sarin's mind. She kept our treasure from us. Said Bereki and I had gone strange. Hush, cousin. Sarin turned into a cultist herself, so we did what we had to. Bereki wept until his voice was gone, and then he was gone too. Leaving only me to conduct Sarin's rites. And my cousins here. You cannot conduct the rites without a clan to bear witness. Or some fuel for the fire. Say your words as you pass then, priest. And do not come back. This is Sarin's final resting place, and a killing ground for all who come to disturb her.
That might be worth a look. on, let's go. Best get going.
A friendly face at last. Are you going to the party as well? I don't know if I should say. It's very exclusive. Oh, go on then, I'll tell you. It's an underground party at a place called the Palace. My date's supposed to meet me here, but there's no sign of him. You haven't seen him, have you? Pale, skinny, extremely piercing eyes. It's funny. He was ever so keen for me to come. He didn't seem the type to cancel. Now that you mention it, he didn't eat much at dinner last night. Didn't eat anything at all, just pushed the food around his plate. I know the mermaid's food is an acquired taste, but you'd think he'd at least have tried it. I bet he was nervous. He seemed really keen. He was so enthusiastic. I don't understand why he hasn't shown up. Now you mention it, he brought his own wine with him to the mermaid last night. Strange smell it had. Kind of metallic. You know what? I might give this party a miss. Plenty more fish in the Chionthar, as they say. If you see him, don't tell him I was here. Just tell him I wasn't ready to be in a relationship. I'm sure he'll understand.
What's that?
That water looks tainted. Better to avoid it.
Behind our brothers and sisters hunt. It is an insult.
That might be worth a look.
What's that?
The penitent looks at you silently, expectantly. The penitent doesn't respond, holding your gaze almost unblinkingly with his. The penitent doesn't respond, holding your gaze. The penitent doesn't respond. There is the slightest flicker of acknowledgement in his eyes. The penitent blinks.
Feel that? This house doesn't want us here.
Aye, aye.
Backwards. On my way.
My faith will protect me. Moving.
I won't give in. Another step forward. soldier.
One can't always be a gentleman.
I cannot die. Please help me.
This'll help with the pain. Take two.
The witching hour.
Can't even catch my breath.
No gloom, all doom.
Talk to me.
Survival is all that matters. isn't ever easy.
Wits and blades, always sharp. Take your...
Some healing for a wizard in need.
Damn, it's good to be alive.
Have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it.
What's that? What's the story? Gruesome. A necromantic ritual, no doubt.
Bet I can crack that open.
I could go for a good meal.
Let's move.
Elminster?
Oh, hello, my boy. No, don't mind me. I'm just enjoying a lungful of Baldurian air. Yes, a distinctive aroma, though perhaps not one worthy of bottling. I hear you've been browsing in the most esteemed of emporiums, sorcerous sundries. Indulge my curiosity. What wonders did you discover there? I trusted he would be sensible enough to exercise caution in this matter and to seek the truth. By now, you are aware of the evil we are up against. Karsus' pestilent crown, the very tool with which its eponymous creator unmade an empire and magic itself. Perhaps now you understand what is at stake here, my boy. Though what Mr. asked of you was extreme, it was not without merit, nor demanded lightly.
What are you saying? Or rather, what are you not saying?
Mr. knows you defied her, Gale. Well, of course she knows. She's Mistra. She bids you come to her holy shrine in the Stormshore Tabernacle. There, she will grant you an audience at last.
Mistra's willing to speak to me again? Was this your doing, Elminster?
She knows what I see in you, just as I know what she sees in you. I was not born an old man. I know all too well what it's like to have a goddess fill your heart with longing. Looking at you is like gazing into a mirror that shows centuries long past.
The past is the past, Elminster. And the future is, well, still to be decided. By me. Not by Mistra.
If there is another way, I trust you can find it. It is not in your nature, or mine, to stop looking, to accept the first answer to any dilemma. Do what you can. Put that mind to work. Trust in yourself. Trust in the weave. If you are willing, trust in Mistra. There is a conclusion yet to be written in this sorry tale, Gale of Waterdeep. And yours is the quill that will write it.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Of course. What's on your mind? Of course.
Something on your mind?
You know exactly what's on my mind.
Why, only the truth. That you bear the blame for the Duke's untimely demise. Such a loyal servant of the city, so eager to hear of your exploits. Tell me, darling, how is she? What a relief. It would be a shame if she'd struck down the one and only blade. Alas, she misses the fallen Duke. Someone will need to step up in his absence. A man with the spirit of a dragon. His only son, perhaps.
You sleep, but the wicked don't. Someone is here to disturb your rest.
Get the hells away from me!
Peace, brother. We're here to take you home.
The Master needs all 7 of us for the ceremony. Come with us and be reborn. We'll live again.
The right. The Master needs him. He must attend.
Oh, I'm well aware of what the Master needs. But don't we deserve better?
Better? What do you mean, better?
After all these centuries of torment, I know what you all want. More than power. More than to walk in the sun. You want to see him dead. The right of profane ascension will be mine. And he won't see a scrap of its glory. I am going to complete the ritual as the Ascendant, and then I am going to kill him! This is your chance. Stand with me. Name me your new master. We will get our revenge. And you will all live again.
His liar's smile spells danger. He knows full well that his kin will die in the ritual, but if any of the bearers of the scar die before the ritual begins, he will lose his chance to perform the rite himself. He needs them to run willingly to their deaths, thinking they stand a chance against their master.
Enough! Enough talk and enough lies. You were always weak, brother. We don't follow weak.
This is our only chance to be free, to end centuries of slavery. You will not ruin it, Astarion.
About it. Sometimes the only way out is through. You picked the wrong fight, friend.
What a mess. Well, at least you've met my family now. He wouldn't throw away centuries of planning on a scrap like this. They were pulled back just in time. He will be furious. And he'll be even more furious when I get to that crypt and stop him. For what it's worth, thank you. No matter what happens down there, you helped me stand up against him.
What to do?
Yes? Darling, lead. Keep your distance, darling.
Still alive, so that's progress.
There she stands, just as Elminster promised. Mystra, goddess of the weave, mother of all magic.
The old man wasn't lying. She's opened the summoning channel. Can't you feel it?
Gale's right. The very air around the statue crackles with magic, as though the weave itself were coursing beneath her stony skin.
A stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to Mystra, wherever she may be.
Well, go on then. It's rude to keep a goddess waiting.
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with Mystra again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee. Am I? You're right. I am a strong, capable wizard. And this is no more than a casual reunion with an ex-lover. My omnipotent, omniscient ex-lover. I always wonder what being nervous would feel like. I hate it. You're kind to say so, but this is hardly my first time in Mystra's presence. It's more the matter of what I'm going to say to her. During my time locked away in Waterdeep, I prepared a quite comprehensive speech for her on the subject of our former relationship and the manner in which it ended. Alas, recent events have rendered the majority of it moot, so I'm going to have to improvise. Unless you have any words of wisdom to impart before I go. The summoning channel Mystra has provided is for me alone. No one else is permitted to enter it, no matter how talented a user of the weave they are. You'd make a fine three-dragon anti-player, you know? I think it's best I keep a cool head going into this. Approach it like a particularly high-risk round of three-dragon ante. I'll let Mistress show her flight, and then I can see how strong a chance we stand of winning the gambit. I'll only be gone for a matter of moments. The Outer Planes experience time quite differently to our own. Wait for me. Please.
Gale of Waterdeep. You look well.
As do you. But I assume we're not here solely to exchange compliments. So why am I here?
You discovered what lies at the heart of the Absolute, the crown of Karsus. And you disobeyed my instruction. Why?
Because you had no right to ask that of me. You cast me out. Remember?
You were my lover, my chosen. Yet still you know so little of me. The past cannot be undone with self-pity, nor can a future be forged. Only with the truth will you see the way ahead. The fragment of magic you tried to return to me was not of my creation. It was the Karsite weave. It is a corrupted, half-born magic, wrought in the brief moment Karsus ascended to godhood. It hungers for power, just as he did, and it can never be sated. You unleashed something that would consume all magic in existence, and yet you thought only of preserving yourself.
So that's what you're scared of. With the crown of Karsus reforged, I could take control of the Karsite weave.
You can no more control the Karsite weave than a weather vane could control a storm. That it entered your body and consumed no more than your powers was a miracle. But we will not be granted another. The only reason the orb sleeps is because I have allowed it to feed on the true weave. A temporary measure, but one that will not be enough to save us. With each day that passes, the Elder Brain threatens to become a new kind of god. Its worshippers, a scourge of soulless illithids. If you will not use the orb to end this abomination, then you must find a way to separate crown and host. When you've done this, you must surrender the crown of Karsus to me.
A great ask indeed. You've given me much to think on. As you always did.
So be it. Follow the needle of your own wisdom. We shall see how truly it leads you.
Mortal soil once more. I can't believe I saw her. After all this time. Relieved. Drained. Proud of myself for summoning the courage to go to her in the first place. And, if I'm being totally honest, a bit lightheaded. As if it wasn't enough to have seen her again. She didn't exactly summon me there for small talk. The Karsite weave. Within me this whole time. I knew the orb was no ordinary ball of magic before it to be Karsus's malignant creation. Gods! How did I not see that? True enough. There's a reason such unwitting heroes have been the backbone of lyric and legend for as long as both have existed. Even so, I was hardly some naive apprentice at the time. I considered myself an archmage, and yet was fool enough to be mistaken for a common conjurer. At least now I'm armed with the truth, and Mistra's expectations. Sounds like the door to redemption is open at last. All I have to do is walk through it, carrying the crown of Karsus. Perhaps. I see few other options open to me. If I ever want to reclaim those parts of myself the orb snatched away. If I ever want to be me again. Impulsive wreck? God, you made me sound like something a drunk fisherman scuppered on the banks of the Chionthar. Needless to say, I've work ahead of me before I feel myself truly redeemed of the damage I caused. But I intend to try. If I can promise you one thing in return for your faith in me, it's this. I will use everything in my power to ensure we defeat this evil. I will not let you down.
Mistra has forsaken Gale entirely. A crushing blow. But he is strong enough to persevere, I think.
Wow. So that was Mistra. Pretty spectacular stuff. But I think Gale was right not to agree to do her bidding, no questions asked. I respect the gods, but they don't always understand what they're asking of us. Maybe immortality makes it hard to know what it's like to be one of us piggies. Proud of Gale, though. It takes some man to hold his own in front of the divine.
So, Gale's hedging his bets with Mistra? I can't say I blame him. Who'd want to hold a power like the crown of Karsus in their hands just to hand it to someone else? I know what my decision would be, but we're all different, of course.